Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our monthly energy forecast. My name is Jona Bryndis. I'm an energy worker, and I will be illuminating the coming March 2018 energies here with you together to give you an overview of what you'll be dealing with. This energy forecast is not based on astrology. It's based on visionaries, empaths, and energetically sensitives from all over the world reporting to me what their precognitive senses bring up for them. And so you may find connections with astrology, but this is not the main purpose. It's not a channeling either. It is energies that come through actual sessions that are being held here at transCODES. And if you stay with me here for another 10 minutes or so, then we can discuss how we translate and how we train energies within us to better adjust and deal with these collective tendencies. All right, let's have a look at March. The last weeks here in February were signified through like really deep healing processes. A lot of people had strong dreams, nightmares, visions, head issues, respiratory issues, and all this is linked to an increased 6th and 7th chakra activity that is coming in through these waves of awakening and transformation that we as empaths experience sometimes. And in the February overview, I wrote, there will be times to fully enjoy life and connecting with others, especially in relationships. But it can also lead to sudden clarity of who or what we do and what we don't want to be with or whom we don't want to socialize with. And I called this the refinement process last month. So the weeding out of what is not good for us, what is not conducive for us anymore. But in order to fully understand this, we really have to see that these collective energies and our reaction to it are supposed to activate our self-healing energies. And a completed self-healing process includes the clearing part, which is the weeding out, the connecting part, which is going deeper within and evaluating, our own values, our own boundaries, our own desires and needs. And then the integration part, the walking the talk part. And that's kind of like how March starts here for us, and it will set the tone for the entire year. So what we will be dealing with in March will mostly be related to self-worth and self-value questions and how we can bring them out into the 3D, into our practical life, how well we can express ourselves. And how well we can express ourselves has to do with how well we can connect within, how well we can connect with our needs, how well we can communicate our boundaries, but also the things that, the no-goes in life and the things that we would like to have. And so in order to create that space that needs to come in now through the physical integration, as we call it, we really need to focus on our own ways of expressing ourselves, our ways of being, our ways of doing, and our ways of understanding ourselves. This is then what allows us to really move into these fresh new energies for this year with a stance that allows us to stand our ground no matter what comes along our path. And so if we can allow this self-refinement and then self-connection and integration process to happen on all levels, then this will provide us with an enhanced sense of direction and soul purpose and the confidence and the empowerment to truly trust in ourselves and what we stand for. And this is really important, guys. I can't stress this enough. It will set the stage for the rest of the year, which means, anything that stays in the unresolved, in the hidden, in the blind spots of our self-understanding and self-expression will mostly or most likely recur and haunt you for the rest of the year. It will duplicate into your relationship patterns, into your issues with work, your career, and it will make your transformational process sort of a struggle. Okay, so what I truly want you to feel here for March energies is this opportunity that you have right now, to allow these deeper healing processes that are still going on, that are bringing karmic stuff forward, that are bringing old things forward, maybe even in form of regrets. And for many of you, perhaps in missed opportunities, to allow that to happen and to connect with this so that this can build the confidence in you. So many of you have heard me say this before, that the way I see this natural evolution process reflected in nature is through feedback and constant correction. And so March will actually challenge that a little bit, because there will be a lot of fresh new energy coming in, and you'll feel totally inspired, and you want to go and you want to do, and you're going to fall down and it's not going to work the way you want it. That does not mean that your idea or what it is that you want to express is wrong or flawed. It just means that you need to slow down a little bit and use this time for correction. So whenever you feel like you're experiencing a setback, don't make this a matter of black and white, like right or wrong. Make this a matter of, okay, I'm still feeling it. It still feels true to me. I just need to slow down a bit. So if you're avoiding this refinement process, then it will be really hard for you to connect with this deeper purpose in life that you're longing for, and you'll continue seeking forward on the outside, and this makes you susceptible, to all kinds of things. And I've predicted this in the energy updates, that we'll see a lot of sort of extreme, maybe even cultish type of spiritual movements arising this year, because people are all searching, this transformational process, whether somebody can consciously feel this or not, affects everybody. And so people will try to find this deep healing anywhere. And if they cannot really connect within, then it makes them sort of sign up for things that are really not good for themselves, that are really sort of violating their integrity, that are violating their liberty, or perhaps even, drive them into doing things that are against, their own values. So be careful about this. Okay, the healing resonance in March is directly linked with our ability to bring this internalized sense of self, like really experiencing our spiritual, our energetic being, our higher self firsthand. The more you can do this, the better sort of equipped you will be for these few ups and downs that are coming in, and also for being able to bring this into the world, to show your value, maybe to bring your products out, your services, or the things that you always wanted to do, and to really find your societal worth, if you will. This then will help you to manifest the abundance, the physical, wealth-related abundance that you have been looking for. Okay, if you don't know what your true needs and your true values are, it will be very difficult for you to claim your value in your family or in society, if you will. And so it requires a little bit of self-discipline here to not go into these black and white patterns, to sometimes even kick ourselves a little bit, to not go into this frustration or desperation that we have if things don't work out the first time. And on an energetic level, it really reduces the power of your manifestation abilities. In other words, when you try to integrate something, when you try to bring something out in the world that is incongruent, or where you're trying to be somebody that you're not, your manifestation field cannot fully grip, and it reduces your power and actually ends up just to being a whole big waste of energy. So congruence here, as always, is a really important factor in that. So to avoid continued looping, mental, emotional looping, or, escapism, into like your dream world, how you dream yourselves things together, or waiting for the right moment, or waiting for the right partner, or, energizing, if I only had, then you're really missing out on this opportunity to choose your own future, to manifest your own future. And I don't mean this just sort of in a blah blah sense, as in like we're all responsible for our own manifestations. No, I mean this in a very practical sense. So a lot of the solutions here in March will be found in your physicality, in your actual actions, if you will, in maybe establishing new patterns around how you treat yourself, how you treat others, and really going into this active self-correction, but not in a punitive sense, but in a very conducive way, that strengthens yourself and the people that you are surrounded by. So make sure that you understand that you have the choice, to shift your energy at any time. And many of you who have been working on this already will find these solutions here in this pivotal moment where all you really need to do is be present. Be fully present in your heart. Be fully present with the other. And hear, slow down, silence your mind. All your techniques that you've developed that help you to stabilize, that help you to ground, that help you to center and to self-clear your energy will come in really, really handy this month. And last but not least, as always, me, I like to poke my finger into wishy-washy things. Do not agree with things that somehow feel neither flesh nor fish, or sort of half-ass. Okay, don't agree to anything half-ass. This doesn't mean that you have to insist on just your way. Okay, on the contrary. So with working on your self-expressive powers, you working on negotiating and really working things out with others, to go into cooperation, collaboration, and synergy with others. Okay, but you do need to make sure that you're congruent with it. And if it doesn't feel right, double check. If it's just because you're lazy, or because you're just having sort of a little dip here, just because it didn't work out the first time, doesn't mean it isn't for you at all. Make sure that you're always in contact with that inner truth navigator that you can find in your heart. So if you want to enter this process with a more conscious and cleared attunement as to what you truly want to invest your time, your money, your energy into, whom you really want to be with, and what you want to allow in your space, then you need to embrace that self-responsibility and also the willingness to commit yourself only to what is true to you, and drop everything that has to do with externalizing your need for safety, security, and love to others. So by the end of March, we'll have a more clear sense of what it means to be true to ourselves, and to walk the talk, to really put this into action. And those of you who are actively working with me have heard me say this already. This is the month of self-love in action, okay? And if you have a few minutes left here, then follow me on how we at transCODES work with this here in our public energy training and energy healing sessions. You can see the calendar on your screen right now. We are beginning this month here with a really, really deep clearing and integration of emotional, like hidden emotional energies such as trauma and fear through the Grace Sacral Heart Fusion Marathon. The Grace Sacral Heart Fusion is a very sacred, very deep process that allows us to bypass the limitations of our mind. It allows us to bypass our mind altogether and to access stored emotional cell memory and clear this. So here you learn how to do this. Then we're actually going to have a workshop for everyone in the self-healing community here at transCODES, a free workshop called Self-Love in Action, where we actually give you practical strategies, to walk that talk. And then on the same weekend, we have our free monthly healing session, group healing session for anybody who is in need of assistance. We'll continue with working with Grace Integrity, one of our most popular emotional integration tool. Guys, I can't even stress this out enough. And those of you who have worked with Grace Integrity know this. We have a system here at transCODES where when you worked with a modality with us for 3 times, every of these modalities is divided into 3 different major codes that we're working there, that we're training there. Then you can come back and use the graduate fee, which is only $10 per session, indefinitely. So just to continue your training. Grace Integrity is one of these really, really cool emotional integration tools that can help you to work with inner child aspects, that can help you to work with karmic aspects, and especially with masculine and feminine energies within yourself. Then as a major event here at transCODES, the second weekend, we have the Etheric Protection Intensive. This is a 3-day remote energy work training event where we guide you through energy processes that help you to understand how etheric protection, psychic defense, and all this works. So it's not just a little bit of, put the white light around you. No, this is hands-on, high-level etheric protection, all documented with a lot of material delivered and provided to you, and guided meditations that you can use for self-guided training after the intensive. We're then going to move on and energize our self-love, the unconditionality of self-love here with the Grace True Love modality, and then go into another weekend special, namely the self-clearing training special. This is a new thing. We've never done this before. We combine 3 modalities, namely the guided heart clearing training process. On Friday night, then the unified self, personally my absolute favorite and probably most powerful energy work modality, where you learn how to unify your chakras and consolidate your energy, followed then by the Grace Power Clearing, which educates you on these outer consciousness chakras that you have, the information that is stored in the outer parts of your aura, and how to scan those and how to clear those. We will then move on with the monthly free True Self session on the 20th, and then work on karma and karmic relationships that following weekend. We are now the 23rd and 24th of March, where we go deeper into some of these ties and binds that we have with other people. And this will be particularly important then for the end of March, because there's a lot of uproar, a lot of intensity coming in at the end of March. Not all very positive. So in order to better discern our own energies and our own reactions, we also offer here the chakra clearing training, so that you can better feel when something affects you and whether it's yours or not. The last week of March, then we'll do the energetic adjustment session that I offer once a month with the resonance, or working with the resonance of peace. This will be needed at this time, because at this point we're probably going to experience a lot of stuff happening in the world that is not so peaceful, and learn how to tune into actively creating inner peace and working with this for the following, the April energies that are coming in. And we are concluding the month of March with our wonderful Grace Redemption Energy Work Training Marathon. If you have never experienced what it's like to go into this place of completely becoming able to absolve yourself and to make peace from within, then this may actually be a great opportunity. The marathons are very intense. It's 72 hours straight energy work with constant reflection on the subtle shifts and so forth that are happening. If you've never done energy work before, I don't think starting with a marathon is a good idea. I would suggest you do these energy training intensives first, or the best way, and this is what most people do, is signing up for the Sacred Self-Healing course, which teaches you all these different energy work modalities, and perhaps maybe getting started with an energetic clearing session, etheric surgery that removes some of the biggest blocks out of your energy body, just so that you can feel more, that you can sense more, that you can feel a bit more comfortable with your own energy. So this concludes the summary here of March energies to come. And if you are in our Sacred Self-Healing program, you won't just be able to attend the free workshops and regular meets that we have, but also the current energies discussions. So towards the middle of the month, we usually have a community meeting where we discuss how these energies have been treating us so far, and everybody shares sort of what they found out, what works for them. And also just to make us, feel that we are not alone in all of this. So this is a very healing. Yes, so I hope you have a wonderful time in March. There is a lot of new inspiration coming in, so I hope you can ride this wave gracefully, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next month. Bye-bye.